we are channeling full moon energy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Laura said we have to channel full moon energy tonight because it's quite late and we might be a bit tired.
Exactly.
Got any hairs sprouting anywhere? How are your palms?
Right from my
Ask me at
chin.
12 o'clock.
I tell you what, I am feeling nuts like the last 2 days. I'm really feeling the full moon energy.
Right. Yep.
There you go.
I think I was a bit intolerable yesterday for my wife. She was a bit like, "Oh, can you just go out?" Yeah. I'm doing this explorer thing. Have you seen? I'm being an Arctic explorer for Chelmsford Food Bank, and I got all my kit on yesterday because I went on the radio. And I didn't have to put the kit on to go on the radio, but I was getting character. She was just like, "Oh, God, you're exhausting. Can you just go out? Can you just go out and do your thing?" I had my stuffed husky with me. I've got £2,500 now.
Good.
2,500. It's loads. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. People love those husky dogs.
Yeah.
It's good for the food bank. So hopefully next week,
well done.
Going to and then they'll be making a statue of me in Chelmsford.
So what is it? What is it that you're doing? Land explore?
No.
Not land explorer, sorry. What did you say? Food exploring?
Costa to Costa.
What are you doing?
I'm in a single day. I'm going to go to all 28 Costas in Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Something no human has ever done before.
That's like a mission, like a computer game or something.
Yeah.
Costa.
Costa to Costa to Costa to Costa to Costa.
Coast to coast? No.
No, this is Costa to Costa. In a single day.
Yeah.
Nick is raising funds for our local food bank.
Yeah, so I've got £2,500 for the food bank already.
Incredible. Yeah.
Saint Nick, thank you.
Abundance.
Well done, Nick.
I washed my hands of my corporate dirty work that I've been doing. I love my corporate dirty work as well. Thank you. Please keep paying me. It's a full moon. It's Thursday night. Welcome to Are You Creative? The podcast about creativity in Essex, the greatest county in the world. We're back here with professional Arctic explorer and charity saint Nick Hearn and my co-host.
And Sangeeta Mitra.
Who's also awesome and does a lot of good work in the community.
Thank you.
We are here in the Lorca Media Studios in Chelmsford, Essex, which is a beautiful game. Thank you very much to Adam. And we've got another amazing guest today who is called
Lora Aziz.
Yay!
Dramatic pause. Hang on. Dramatic pause, yeah. Lora Aziz. Full disclosure, wife of Marley, who's been on the podcast. Wife?
Yes.
Wife?
Yes.
Very nice. What a family.
Bless you.
And now we just need to have your baby on and then we've completed the whole family. so
That would be good.
Yeah.
That's so good, yeah.
Yeah, done some finger painting. Yeah. What about it?
Love that, yeah.
And Laura, are you from Essex?
I am indeed.
Where from?
Colchester.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Ah, really?
What's your postcode?
Well,
CO4.
really? Yeah, that was my postcode growing up.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. But now I'm over the border a little bit.
I know. Well, I heard you're in the S word, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still do you still do your artistic practices in culture.
So my doctor's surgery is Essex, but the library is Suffolk.
My dad has this problem as well.
Yeah.
His house is in Essex, but his post office is in Suffolk.
Yeah, it's like we're county lines.
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it?
Lines.
Honestly, it'd be war. You know, in Ireland, there's some pubs apparently that are in different. I think there might be some pubs that go over a border, and they have different licensing laws. So everyone has to move to one side of the pub if they want to drink after 11 p.m.
I'll tell you something.
That'd be amazing. You've got to have your hacks.
Culturally, there is something in the air, and I don't know what it is.
What, in between Essex and Suffolk?
Yes.
Do you think, there'll be war? Because Chelmsford's trying to take over Braintree at the moment.
Thing is about England, war is kind of, I don't know, it's a bit slow and sneaky. The way people do things around here.
So Essex is just crawling into Suffolk.
No, I don't know. It's a big conversation. But yeah, it's
I mean, there's a bit of cultural imperialism from Suffolk bringing Ed Sheeran in, They're really taking over.
Yeah, we've got Ed.
Yeah, we've got Ed. Yeah, he's bigger than Damon Albarn now. So yeah, deal with it. He's bigger than the Prodigy and Damon Albarn together.
Gosh, yeah, true. Yeah, cultural warfare.
So you think Suffolk are trying to encroach on Essex or the other way around?
No, it's not about encroaching. It's just I noticed the difference that I feel like I am actually from Essex when I'm in Suffolk.
Yeah.
And I've been trying a lot to kind of feel my way into Suffolk life and the idyll of Suffolk. But yeah, it's not quite that, I think. Yeah, I'm starting to feel the three shanks.
Three shanks?
Yeah.
What's that?
You know, the three blades.
The C-axis.
Yeah.
C-axis.
But, you know, anyway, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What even is the Suffolk flag? No one knows because it's not cool. It's not cool.
No, I don't know, actually.
What's on the Suffolk flag?
Really good.
But we don't need to know.
Anyway,
What?
but yeah, it has been important for me, you know, knowing and finding my place as an Essex person, I think.
Do you find that, I find that my Essexness increases quite a lot when I'm outside of Essex. And if I meet someone else from Essex, especially, I feel like a cultural ambassador and I've got to go a little bit more Essex, a little bit more geezer when I'm somewhere else.
I mean, for me, like being multicultural and having, you know, not really being from anywhere ever, I find it interesting when I choose to wear the label of being from Essex or being from Suffolk or being from somewhere else, or if I'm, you know, saying it if I go back to Egypt and I'm like, you know, I'm from Essex, they just hear sex. So it becomes a bit controversial. It's just like, I'm from near London.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Otherwise, they're going to start thinking that I'm talking about sex.
We get over that by about the time we're 5, right? Essex does have the word sex in it.
Yeah, but the rest of the world only hears the 3 letters. Sex. Like, I'm from sex. What? What?
My brother lives in Tokyo, and when we catch up on Skype or something, he just loves my kids' accents. He's like, "Oh my god, listen to those little geezers."
Yeah.
They just sound normal to me, but to him they're like, "In it, yeah, what, yeah, get me a bottle of water."
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, leaning into that.
Wow, that's the longest Essex chat we've had in a long time. Greatest county in the world. Are you creative?
Yeah.
Now, Sangeeta doesn't have to guess what you do
I don't.
because Sangeeta already knows. But our listeners would like to know, what does a Lora Aziz do? Otherwise, I'm going to read it off your website.
Yeah, go for it.
Shall I read it off your website?
Yeah.
Let's see if you agree with this anymore. Lora Aziz is an artist whose creative practice reimagines contemporary cross-cultural relationships with land and nature through wildcrafting, community herbalism, earth science, and visual ethnobotany.
Yes.
Ethnobotany. I've never, ever even said that word before.
I love it.
What is it? What's ethnobotany?
Yes. Ethnobotany. Botany obviously being the study of plants and plant life, and then ethno being the ethnicity, the human relationship to those plants and that land. So it's kind of the anthropology of plants and place.
Ethnobotany of
So ethnobotany specifically, is locating those plants to a people. So if you're from Chelmsford, like a dandelion could be called something, but if you go to Colchester, a dandelion, the dandelion of Essex. But then if you go to Colchester, it might be called something else.
Oh, that's so interesting.
You know, and their use from place to place is different from place to place. So
I find that really interesting. Barn owls are called Billy Wicks in Essex, and they're called Molly Dishwasher, I think something like that in Kent. And I love all these different words for plants and animals.
There you go, ethnobotanist.
No, but that would be fauna.
Flora and fauna. But that's the feeling of
that's
what
fascinating.
It is. Yeah.
So, what interesting names have we got for stuff in Essex?
Oh, there's that's a really good question.
What sort of defines Essex? Because I think, when you look at the when people think about the landscape, I guess everyone really thinks about Constable and Dedham and, the Dedham Vale and the river and that sort of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
That to me is like, that's like quintessential Essex, right?
Yeah. But it's kind of framed in the past, and it's kind of like, a snapshot of what life used to look like as a rural landscape, and providing a lot of the the agricultural production to London, and it's kind of the offspill of that. So it's kind of, people that would be working the land. And that's a very hard graft. And so I think that there's always that look at deep dive into the past when we think about Essex and its old ancestral relationship to but now it's changed. It's completely changed. And that kind of separation from where we are and where we were is really interesting, especially if you are like me, from a migrant, background, and then all of a sudden that's another overlay that you have to kind of tell the story of where you live. And
but everyone's still in love with those olden days times, aren't they? When you have your cultural identity, I think like part geezer, part Haywain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And also, I suppose in Essex is interesting, isn't it? Because
I'm just loving that. Part geezer, part Haywain. Did you know?
It's like a centaur, but I've got wheels.
Yeah, exactly. The Haywain is coming back to Essex.
I know, I heard.
Probably
Incredible.
just from Fraser, but
no, it's going to be. Where's it going to be on display?
At Dedham, I think, at Flatford Mill.
Is it?
Or in a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
In Ipswich.
They're going to
maybe?
have some security.
Yeah, big time. It's an old wagon.
I've seen the Haywain at the National Gallery. It's mad. Like if you go to the National Gallery, you can just walk through a couple of rooms and it's like bangers. It's like seeing all the biggest bands ever. Because you've got Whistle Jacket, you've got the Haywain, you've got the Tiger in a Tropical Storm, you've got the Ambassadors by Hans Holbein. All like in these rooms, you just walk in between them. You're like, what? How can there be this many famous paintings all like in one bit?
Yeah.
Gainsborough.
Yeah.
Amazing. Such good. Turner.
Prolific.
The Fighting Temeraire and stuff. Oh, it's amazing. So much good stuff there. Yeah, I'd highly recommend that. But like the Elgin Marbles should one day return to Athens, we're going to bring the Haywain back to Essex.
Reparations,
yeah. So once the Haywain's back in Essex, we're not letting it go back to London, are we?
No, that's
let's
good.
keep it. Keep Essex for Essex.
Yes.
And Grayson Perry, let's repatriate all of his artworks as well.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah.
So let's look at look out for the Haywain.
Pardon?
What were they even taking? Just some hay?
What were they
hay.
taking?
Yeah, hay. They're just taking hay, weren't they? It was a Haywain.
Yeah, I think so. Just like, how you can make that much money off some hay, but...
Well, hay, you've got to move hay around.
Yeah, you do. And we live on where we see the hay being moved every day where we live, so it's a big job every day.
Marley on his back, like...
No, well, you can roll it. You wouldn't want to put it on your back.
No,
they're heavy.
it'd be well itchy.
Yeah. These ones are wrapped in plastic, so that's all right. But you do, you need a couple of people to push the hay.
Yep. I suppose Essex is really interesting though because you've got so many different landscapes, and when you think about it, really, you've got you've got your salt flats from Malden, you've got oysters in Mersey, you've got the whole Dengie is like crazy ecosystem with all the muddiness and stuff, and estuaries. And then you've got your beautiful Constable green valleys and just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essex.
Yeah.
People were really surprised when they come here that they haven't been to Essex before, and they're like, "Oh, actually, it's really nice here." Because they just think I don't know what they think it's going to be. Just one big stiletto or something.
White.
Just one big white stiletto and a full cortina burning, and they're like, "Oh, just thought that was going to be Essex."
I'm afraid so.
But look at it. There's loads of really nice countryside and loads of diversity.
Yeah. You got mud on the stiletto as well.
That's true.
Well, actually, a stiletto would be good for wading, I suppose.
That is
Maybe
so
that's where it came from.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where it came from.
Me
What,
neither.
stiletto?
Yeah, I can't remember. There is a story in that.
The white stilettos.
Yeah. Not white. I just don't remember where high heels came from, but that's a whole other subject, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll look at some ethnobotany on these.
What's the definitely not land work. That's what I know.
No. What? Them? Well,
Yeah.
they could be good for aerating a lawn.
Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be very
Just
good
get the
for that.
stilettos to walk around.
Yeah, definitely.
Just put on like some Sophie Ellis Bextor Murder on the Dance Floor or something. Give everyone a Prosecco and their high heels and just get them to walk around and it'll aerate the whole...
I absolutely love that visual. That is brilliant.
Just
that
on
is
loop.
brilliant.
Put them on the dance floor and then before the end, Marley's field is perfectly aerated and it's ready for crops.
That could work.
That's bloody brilliant. If we were in 1980 where women wore white stilettos, then yeah, like...
I haven't been to a nightclub in a long time. I don't know what people wear now.
Converse.
Comfy shoes.
Yeah. Gen
It's the
Z,
comfies.
YP or
There you
whatever it is.
No one's doing stilettos. So Laura,
Yes.
tell us what. So you've up in Colchester now. You're doing all the lovely stuff I know from before that you've done around foraging and plants and stuff. Is that what's prompted you to go into all of this kind of stuff more deeper, the land stuff and living off the land?
Yeah, I guess like when you're a wildcrafter, you're always going out and, you know, out on public footpaths and meeting that kind of, meeting all the different barriers that come up and pollution to land access to all these different kinds of things. And then, you know, the next step is once you're that thick in it, and obviously having Marley, who'd done all his work at different farms and had learned his craft, it was sort of time to think about taking it a bit more seriously and being out as tenant farmers of a patch of land, which is
How's that transition been for you?
beep hard. Like,
Really?
Oh my
Tell
God.
us.
Like, yeah, that could be a whole podcast.
No one ever said farming was easy.
Yeah, it
Have you
is.
got animals and stuff on
We
there?
don't. Yeah, I've got a child who's 18 months.
It's only when you said the hay and stuff, and I'm imagining, oh my God, these guys must be up at 3 o'clock in the morning
No.
feeding the cows.
I tell you what, the baby's not big enough to pull a plough yet.
I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's
So
milking hour.
So let's we'll just talk about your background as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
because you used to do a lot of sort of like foraging walks and
Yep.
and community things so people can understand their connection to the landscape.
Yep.
Yeah. So and you did some in Chelmsford as well, didn't you? Like,
Yep.
So what would happen on one of these like sort of guided foraging walks? Because you know, it is an artistic practice as well as sort of community engagement.
Yeah, for me, those walks were all about bringing people together and kind of showing them actually what's around. Like, it's like, for me, it was always a dimmer light, turning on the lights a little bit for people to be able to understand the background that you walk past every single day is actually alive and there and
Semi-edible.
So, yeah,
edible,
absolutely.
medicinal, but also, yeah, and I think that's where I am now in my practice, going way beyond but can I eat that kind of question? It's actually like, it's the justice that exists around the whole practice as well, and starting to really deepen that and see what I can take from how far can we go with this. And I think that's where my practice is definitely evolving. I think foraging for me was just like this ultimate, like, you know, when you've got something so amazing or you've seen something so amazing and you're just like, oh my God, it's a full moon. Have you seen the moon? Oh my God, everybody. And it's that like, that jovial, that joy. You just can't like, I have to tell everyone I know, because it's like, once you know, you can't unknow those things. So if you're going out on a walk with me, you never it's not just like, you know, I'm just walking and then we're talking. It's like walking and then, oh, look at that. Like, and, whoa, there's a horse.
So with that engagement, you know, that's people need to know what they're protecting, right, and what they're fighting for, and you know what they're in danger of losing as well. I suppose, especially you know, I was laughing the other day because you get all these housing developments by Red Row often quite. They're always called. They're always named after what they're taking away, like Meadowview and things like that.
Cow
you know.
pasture lane.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's and I know even like near Colchester where you guys are as well. Like they were talking about this massive Great Tay triangle development of new houses and stuff. And it's all sort of taking away this countryside of Essex that we'll never get back.
No.
But so if people have a deeper understanding and relationship with that, bingo.
Yeah, definitely. And there's that agency, there's the ability to then maybe stand up and protect it, or to even be able to understand what it is that you're even looking at. If you're just looking at green background, or that's what most people think it is. It's just like a background, like, you know,
No,
I
for
don't,
real.
you know, like this.
Yeah.
That we all understand that that's a TV. I've got a TV behind me, but it's like, you know, the background is a TV, but actually it's made up of all these different components and does all these things.
Listen, guys, it's not just a selfie background, all right? You can eat it, you can make medicine out of it. Animals live there. There's a lot of ethnobotany going on.
Love that.
No, but I guess there is, because look, I've known Lora for a good few years now, and I remember meeting Lora back in the Meadows when you guys had that art thing, book launch. Yeah. And I remember from there, Lora doing the foraging with some of our Asian women here, and the feedback that we got was amazing, because they started to think about back home. And you guys, the videos that I used to see were they'd walk into a car park, then they'd pick up all these little plants, and next minute they're boiling them. Right?
But it's interesting when you think we had Catalina in the other day, okay, from Colombia.
From Colchester, yeah.
From Colombia.
Yeah, from
Not
Colombia.
From Colchester, from Colombia. I mean, they both begin with COL. Yeah. But, when she was saying, like, coming to England and seeing foxes and stuff was like really like exciting and exotic wildlife. I suppose if you're from a different country and someone actually shows you what you can forage and what's in the landscape, it suddenly comes to life and you're like, whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. And for me, it's about connecting those plant families to the plant variety that is back home.
Yeah.
So that's a big part, just like we are all from one family of human race, right? But we've got these different adaptations to where we've come from, and the same with plants. So you can find, you can find an apple here, and you can also find an apple in Pakistan, but they're going to be different, but they're going to be the same, but you can use them similarly, even if one is super sharp and one is super sweet. Yeah. And it just takes a bit of a shift to understand that you're still getting the same.
Do you know what's brilliant? If you go to Lathcoats Farm in Chelmsford, they've got an apple tasting station, and they've got about 30 or 40 different types of apple that they grow, because they try and diversify their things, and you can like cut off a little bit and try it.
Yep.
I've been trying to work my way through all the apples. Not that I'm buying them. I am buying them. I'm not Lathcoats. Sorry, I'm not just going there just eating them. I'm buying the apples afterwards, but I'm doing my little tasting notes.
Yeah, and that's a rare thing, to be able to know 40 different species of apple or whatever. Did you know there was 20,000 different kind of species of rice once upon a time?
Wow.
And now we've like monocropped it down to 5 or 6 that are being sold in the shops.
And banana growers are terrified, aren't they? Because it's become a monoculture. There used to be like tons and tons of different types of bananas, and they would just come down to one banana, and they said, all it takes is one little crazy little virus to come along, or like a bug or something. No more bananas.
Yep.
That's it. No more bananas. Bananas are fragile. They can be destroyed.
Yeah, in a cake.
And that's why it's important.
You bash it.
but that's, and tagging to that, that's why it's really important to have all these different varieties of apples.
Yep.
And bananas.
Yep, definitely. And people.
Yeah. Definitely.
We don't end up with a monoculture of, phone people. We need to, I don't know.
Phone
cut
people.
that out if you want.
Phone people?
Yeah.
I don't think we should have phone people either.
I don't know, but do you know what I mean?
Siri,
like that whole thing of like
Siri's so
AI
annoying.
one answer Instagram kind of vibe. It's like let's look at 40 different types of apples and see what wisdoms they've got to share with us.
Yeah, absolutely. No, makes sense. Can I go back to the farming bit now that you're there? What kind of bits are you guys harvesting there? How's it? I mean, Marley went through some of the bits, but how much further have you guys got from his body?
So I don't know. He was on like this time last year, wasn't he? I think.
So you guys were just starting then?
Yeah.
He's cut off his dreadlocks since then.
Has
he really?
He's cut off all his dreads.
Oh, wow.
He's a dad now.
Oh.
Well, not just that. I think it's a transformation, to be fair. We've been going through quite a lot, and I think,
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So life on the farm. What's going on the farm?
Life on the farm. So we planted loads of trees in a part of like an agroforestry strip that we've been like trying to test. And so the fruit trees are in. Veg bags are being slowly delivered round to people within a 5-mile radius. I mean, I haven't had much to do with it. I managed to secure some funding to put a borehole in. What is a borehole?
Yes.
It's not for boars. It's not for like pig like boars.
No.
It's water.
Yep. You drill. We drilled 15 meters deep until we tapped into water that is on the water table. And then you're drawing that water up so that you can irrigate your own plants. that right there is the ultimate epitome of my creativity right now. Was watching that water come up from the borehole.
That's incredible. Did you have to get like a big digger thing with a spinny drill?
Well, obviously we
15
didn't do
meters is so long.
That's so deep. Yeah. And we just we tapped right up until like it was just below the London clay.
Yeah.
So London clay is like London blue clay, which kind of is like a geographical area that is from here all the way up to London, and it spans out over to Kent.
Wow.
And it's like the different layers underneath the soil that exist. So you've kind of got stones, and you've got sand, and then you've got maybe more like sandy kind of, and then you've got clay, and then you've got blue clay, and then under that you've got chalk, and then under that you've got like thousands and thousands of years or millions of years of like fish bones and whale bones that are all like these compressions. And it's so funny just catching the end there of the last podcaster and him talking about the microplastics in the in the river, and then how basically the guy who came along to drill these boreholes was thinking, you know, he was saying this is all the years of history right beneath our feet. And he's like a geezer. He's, you know, he was just like completely just not fussed by it. And I was like writing it all down like, oh my God, this is great research material. And then, you know, and then he's like at the end, but do you know what we're going to be? We're going to be a little layer, a little black layer, you know, at the end of that with all that oil and plastic.
Pollution.
It's just plastic, like melted down plastic layer that's going to be, but you know, we'll carry on. And it was just interesting, like to watch that layer and that connection to place and where I am at the moment come through. It's just like, fascinating.
I've got a geography degree.
Yeah.
And I love like the Vostok ice cores and things like that, you know, when they drill out these boreholes and they bring out these massive tubes so you can see every layer. So when they were drilling it out, did it actually come out as like a big like sausage of earth?
Yes, so
and you could see the layers.
Spilled, like so a lot of the sand and everything came out, and it was bright orange because of all of the iron.
Wow.
So you're thinking about all of that iron-rich stuff. So my immediate like, I need to touch that.
Yeah.
And then, so then we used that to create a massive circle around the fire. So we created a fire pit, put all the sand there, moved that all there, but not immediately, but after a couple of days. And then also, then up came the massive, it was like a plug almost of blue clay. So we have a plug of blue clay.
Amazing.
That we then used, Marley and I processed it. And actually, to be fair, it's kind of like the blue, the navy blue on the walls in here. It's kind of like this, dark navy blue, grey. Royal blue. Royal blue with a touch of grey. It's kind of like that short slatey kind of colour. And then we processed it and then painted it on the wall as part of an exhibition at Cuckoo Farm Studios on natural processing.
So it's amazing to get like all these colours, like a really deep royal blue, like bright orange. And just think, that's all under your feet.
That's all under your feet. It was fascinating within seconds, obviously, and that's years and years and years, thousands of years of like stored mineral and energy, and to see it all come up. And so then we were sat outside, and then Zeki decided it was a hot day. It was like June. I put some in a bowl, and then he's just like rubbing it all over himself, and he covered himself. Basically, we've got some amazing pictures of him.
What's really good though, it makes him invisible to the predator.
Exactly. People pay a lot of money for that. I'm going to go and have a mud bath.
It's
just like, you know, or like all these rituals
that could be the new thing for the farm. A spa farm.
You want to be careful though. If you stand out in the sun, it'll just go hard, and you'll be like stuck in this clay thing. It'd be weird. You'd be like an Anthony Gormley.
Yeah, exactly. The Antigormley of Suffolk. We can make that happen. Toddlers. But it was really, really amazing just to watch that process and to watch, an 18-month-year-old at the time. He was like just a year, like playing with it. And actually it was completely safe, and just knowing that all those minerals are going in. Yeah, it was really beautiful. And then so we both Marley and I both took a bit of that clay. And I've got a bit to kind of maybe process at some point. Don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet, but
amazing. Yeah. How big's the borehole? How wide is it? What's the diameter?
Whatever that is, like.
Oh, we need Kathleen here to measure it. About 6 inches, 15 centimeters.
Yeah,
that's crazy that so much stuff can come out just from like a hole that small.
Yep.
I want to see it. I want to see this now.
Thing
Do you know
is, it's not that
Sangita?
amazing. It's not that amazing. People are like, oh, can we come see the borehole? It's literally like a hole. Like it's like you can't see anything.
But it's the stuff, how you explain it, that came out of it that is like, what? What do you mean fish bones?
Sangita,
What do you mean?
Sangita, it's boring.
Well,
No,
the
it's-
fish
No,
bones.
Sangita, it is boring.
Really?
It's boring. That's why they make a borehole.
Boom, boom.
Sorry, that's terrible.
So good, so good.
So we had Emma, who's in charge of the Essex Witch Museum in here. And it's really interesting because you think, like, back in the days, people were getting persecuted for like using the land for medicine. You know, like these cunning folk and like the witches were the people that would actually go out foraging and like finding herbs and things like that as well. So it's mad that like the connection to land in that ethnobotany. How many times can I say it today? Ethnobotany. You know, like people have sort of forgot about the craft a lot. Did they? I don't know.
Yes.
Was I just rambling?
No, but this is where I always want to come in, and people always just say, witches were persecuted for being out on the land. I think that is such a narrow perspective on actually what was going on. And if we look at the history, it's the feudal system was being replaced by capitalism.
Yeah.
And in that time, that's when all of those, so persecute people on the land, remove those people from the land, and when land became asset, when land became a capital to be bought and sold.
Yes.
Prior to that, land wasn't something that was sold or bought in that way. And that's what makes it really, really interesting.
So it's actually like, stop living off the land.
Yep.
Stop finding ways.
I'm going to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
It was got,
This ain't on 2 for 1.
No.
Get off my hawthorn.
Exactly. No, not get off my hawthorn. The reason why hawthorn has been, this is like the geeky part, but it's so important is that hawthorn is the most common shrub or plant or tree that you see in the UK. And the reason for that is because that it was planted as a row to keep people off. So it is basically the first living fence. And that's why you see it so commonly.
It's spiky.
It's spiky. It's got hawthorn. It will keep you out the land.
But the leaves are full of vitamins.
Yes. So you can eat them as you go, you know. We'll nourish you, but we might stab you also. I
like that.
And I think that, so it's really interesting. It was a way to keep people off the land, but, and it's a very prolific also way to regain power as well back from that relationship. Going and taking 3 hawthorn berries or 3 haw-berries is kind of like saying,
Up yours.
Power.
Up yours, landowners.
Up yours, landowners.
Yeah.
I'm
still having a bit.
I'm still having a bit because I can and I know what it is.
Yeah.
And you don't. But maybe you do.
Do people, if you're out foraging and stuff, do people still like look at you like you're maybe like a bit weird or something, or is everyone just fascinated?
Yeah. It always depends on the, I haven't really had lots and lots and lots of, negative comments, but a couple of them did come from the Homelanders Presence book when we were gathering stories and recipes for that and going out as a big group of women. Sometimes we were 20 women, all from different backgrounds. And, and at that point, you'd often find men maybe approaching us and being like, what are you doing? Because we'd be seen to be a bit,
What, the landowners would? Or?
Not landowners, just fellow...
Joe Public.
I've had that before. When I've been even picking blackberries, people are like, you can buy them in Tesco.
Really?
And I'm like, mate, look at me. I've got this
Well,
massive...
why would I want to do that if they're free here?
Yeah, so I've got a massive bowl here for free.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Oh,
Absolutely
mate.
bonkers. But it's not been so bad. And I think, always having a chat and try and educate them around certain things. But, sometimes not. If I don't fancy it, I'll just,
Sometimes
quick,
it can be hard
busy.
work.
And exactly. And it's not always all right to stop and have a chat. But usually it's all right. Usually people are quite cool.
I think loads of people are just fascinated. They just don't know about stuff. Like my wife's constantly trying to get my kids to learn what the trees are. And she'll say, what's that? And they'll still just say, a tree. She'll be so annoyed. She said, I knew all the trees when I was younger.
Wow. Yeah, it's so
I
important.
don't think a lot of kids don't know the trees or anything.
There's that there's like a little meme that's gone around, and it shows you all the different logos. So you've got like Lacoste logo, I don't know, all these different clothing logos, Gucci, and it's like how many, without the wording underneath it, how many of these? Bearing in mind, Lacoste is like a crocodile?
Yeah,
so
how many can you recognise?
Yeah, how many of these can you recognise? And everyone's like, oh my God, I can see, I know all of those. But then the other one, it's just like, can you recognise a sycamore, oak, and an ash, and and for me, I'm just like, yes. Like,
totally winning.
Totally winning. But then the other side is that, and unfortunately, that's the feudal over the capital. That is essentially how it has changed our brain chemistry.
Could you recognise Lacoste though? That's the important thing.
Hell yeah. Because I really wanted a Lacoste bag when I was 16. Yeah, and I got it.
Nice. Yeah, you didn't want a bag with an oak tree leaf on it, did you?
Definitely not. But then now
Conservatives ruin the oak tree.
I wanted a mulberry handbag, please. It's all these brands, that people want that are actually Osprey is another one,
Oh, I don't know
Osprey's
about Osprey.
a bird.
Really? No, but I don't know about the brand.
Oh, it's like a sports brand.
I know Will Osprey, the wrestler from Essex.
There you go.
Big
Don't
up.
know him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, no, I don't know him, but yeah, Osprey's like backpacks and stuff.
Well, you don't know the aerial assassin, Will Osprey from AEW. He's absolutely done.
No, sorry.
Headline Wembley Stadium.
Not my culture. I don't know.
He's good. His finishing move is called Cheeky Nando's. He's a good wrestler. I want to talk about the Saffron Trail because this is really interesting. I'd never heard of the Saffron Trail before, and this is like your new art project.
Yes.
What is the Saffron Trail?
Saffron Trail already exists. It's a 70-mile trail across Essex from Southend all the way up to Saffron Walden, or from Saffron Walden all the way to Southend, depends on which way you walk.
And what, people were carrying saffron?
No. I'd love that.
But is that why it was called the Saffron Trail?
No. Do you want to know really why it's called that?
Yeah.
Because some guy in
like
2001 decided that he wanted to create a route north to south or south to north across Essex, because the Essex Way goes east to west. Yeah. So it was just to do that. And
just another direction.
Just another direction. So it makes like a cardinal cross on the map. Like that's it. However, yeah, for me, it was back in 2021, I was part of, it all happened in Chelmsford. So it all started in Chelmsford. I was part of the Ignite this Ignite Ideas Lab, where they got some funding from the EU, and they were like, get back to the city centre post-COVID. Because that was a big thing, right? Getting people back into city centres. Everyone was like, the shops are going to die, everything. No one wants to go back outside. So there, it was this big consortium sort of thing between all these different kinds of people, cross-section of people, artists, planners, architects, business owners, but thinking about ways in which to get people back into city centre. And for me, I've been doing a lot of walking. Yeah. My mum had died in 2019. COVID came just after that, and I'd spent a couple of weeks walking. And I did the Pilgrim's Way, did the Essex Way. I just went out. It was the only thing that I could do during lockdown. And I just took myself out 4 or 5 days at a time, just went. And there's something super cathartic about just going out. It was really.
Were you sleeping rough as well? Like when you were on the Essex Way? Yeah. So you take a tent with you. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Washing a church. By the way, because it was COVID, so you couldn't. There was like, it wasn't a thing. Going into a restaurant wasn't a thing. Yeah. So it was like wild camping, and which technically, you can't do. But
well, you could if you stayed in your tent for 23 hours a day.
Yeah. No, I didn't. It was just, we were wild camping responsibly.
It's interesting because I was following Man About Country, and he did his brilliant Culture Essex project where he walked the Essex Way. Yeah. Now he did that for like 2 weeks or something. Did you do the whole thing in 5 days?
Which? The Saffron Trail? I did
No, the Essex Way.
Essex Day I did it 4 or 5.
Oh, wow. I really want to do that. It looks fascinating.
Yeah, it's great. Epping Forest, to Harwich.
And then you did the Saffron Trail as well, and that gave you the idea for this project?
No, so the Get Back to the City Centre basically was this thing, and we kind of ideated some ideas on our table, and it was all about, I was saying, what happens if you just that was backtracking that story is because I'd just done all that walking. And, you know, and I was so passionate about the time. It's like, we could walk into town, because if you live on the periphery, you could just walk into town, leave your cars at home, and then grab a coffee on the way in, do your shopping.
From one of 28 Costas.
Yeah, exactly. Hilarious. Other independent alternatives are available.
Only just.
Or make your own if you're with Lora.
Yeah, exactly. We can make it out of nettle seeds. We just need a toast
We don't need
them.
Nescafe. We got nettle seeds.
Exactly. That's what I'm about. Anti-vitamin quality.
Nestle Cafe. Nettle Cafe.
Nettle
oh,
Cafe.
no. Oh, God. They'll sting you there, don't worry.
Sting you for your money.
Exactly.
But yeah, and so we were, chatting about that, and then was given the opportunity to kind of take the idea a little bit further. So I spent 2 days just going out. I did a little recce and landed at Paper Mill Lock.
Amazing. Great cakes.
Yeah, I was walking along that route basically. Where is it? So what's that museum? The
Museum of Power.
Ball bearings, Sanford Mill.
Oh yes,
Sanford Mill,
yeah, great, fantastic, yeah.
I was
very
around there.
dystopian. Looks like looks like an apocalyptic zombie hideout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I parked my car. and I got out and I started walking along the waterfront there. And just as I got out of the car, walked literally about 2 minutes onto this trail, and not even trail. I didn't even know it was a trail, footpath. And I looked out, and there was this like emblem. You know, you get the little emblems when you're out walking, and it was of a saffron crocus.
A trail marker.
A trail marker.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it said the Saffron Way.
Wow.
And I was like, saffron? Who this? Like, what are you doing here? Like, what?
Yeah.
So I was very intrigued. So I was kind of had this excitement, walked all the way, then walked into the city centre, and then was going to get the bus back to get the car. And just at that point, I was just thinking, I couldn't stop thinking, why is there saffron here in front of this old, ball bearing, whatever it is, museum? And I couldn't stop thinking about that. And that's basically, and that's where it started. So I kept the idea there. And saffron for me is this plant of of not from Essex. It's not here. So I was intrigued.
Oh, well, here's something interesting I found out on the internet.
Go for it.
Because I love etymology. I can't say it, but I love it.
You can. You just did.
And, where place names come from. Like when you see Stoke, it means in the woods and things like that. So I was like, oh, I didn't even think about Saffron Walden, that saffron was about saffron.
Yep.
And Walden means Foreigner's Valley, apparently.
Oh.
In ye olde language, Foreigner's Valley. And I was just thinking wow.
Saffron Foreigners Valley.
Yeah. So in medieval times, I mean, saffron is really expensive now anyway, but back then it was mega expensive. It must have been so exotic to have saffron in Essex.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So Saffron Walden, right? The other side of or where the trail ends or begins, however you do it, used to be called Chepnen Walden, not Saffron Walden. So what's the etymology of Chepnen? I don't know. CHEYPEN or something like that. And they were growing saffron in the 13th, 14th, maybe late 13th, so 14th, 15th century in that area. And apparently, how it got here is the whole story of it came in a pilgrim's boot, or there's all these stories as to how it arrived here. But I'm like, a pilgrim's boot. That's a very beautiful, romantic story. I don't know if my recollection of British history is that clean.
It's romantic.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued. Still figuring that one out. But it could have been traded. It could have been pillaged. It could have been, who knows. Yeah. So how it got here is part of the research that I would like to undertake.
Amazing. Especially, I suppose, because we had so much wool trade and things like that. A lot of trade.
So it was grown and cultivated in Saffron Walden, and it was up until it became such a thing for that area that they decided that they were going to change the name, because apparently you could smell it as you were entering. From the villages and surrounding areas, you could smell the saffron so much that they decided to call it Saffron Walden, and the Queen came to Saffron Walden and then renamed.
She had a bath in saffron.
I'd love
pouring
that.
saffron
Can you
all
get
over.
saffron in Saffron Morden?
Nowadays, there is a couple of growers in Essex, and I think there's a grower in Suffolk. People are still growing it. You can grow saffron in England. Vibba grows saffron.
This has blown my mind a little bit because I thought saffron was like some mega exotic thing that had to be grown in a different country, like somewhere really hot and dry.
Yeah.
And then they'd bring sacks of it over here and they'd be like, oh, the weight is worth more than gold.
Which it is. It still is being traded like that. But the interesting thing around climate change and climate is that the people that are growing this saffron that you think of, so if you shut your eyes right now and you think of saffron growing, exoticism, those far off places where it's dry, those places are currently facing severe drought, you know, in the mountainous regions.
Yeah.
And those people who are growing those plants are having to seek work elsewhere, having to seek work in cities because they can't grow their life, that ancestral connection to a plant can't be continued because of our consumption of resources. And I think it's so interesting to kind of watch that whole thing unfold and just know that, okay, so that's climate. It's climate in action.
Yeah, and I suppose, even now, like we're starting to grow, the vineyards are really popping up around Essex as well. So it might end up being called Pinot Grigio Walden in the future.
We're laughing, but
it could be.
The climate is predicted to be, the France of, we're growing a lot of German grapes in Essex at the moment.
Yeah.
So because of German wine is doing quite well, German variety of grapes is doing well. But it's like southwest, which is like is going to be the Champagne region.
Oh,
like where my
wow.
sister lives. Yeah, like Hampshire. It's chalky, chalky ground. So that's like you wouldn't have to dig super low to get those fish bones. It will be, it's that stratification of the soil that we were talking about earlier that will give you a different quality of grape and how it's going to live in that soil. Here it's clayey.
So we're German.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is
But I think,
crazy.
isn't it interesting? Just to shift.
Walden.
Saffron Walden.
Saffron Walden.
Liebfraumilch Walden.
Pinot Walden.
I love it.
It's amazing that just like a shift of a couple of degrees, in temperature has just done that. And obviously, like if you look at England, you can join up with Europe, you can see where it broke away. So like that same soil just runs through, the same bedrock runs through. And Essex apparently is just going to be like amazing for wine.
But the thing is like, I don't know about this. Coffee is a great example, like coffee culture. And now you've got that whole like hipster coffee vibe. And then you've got matcha coming in from ancient traditions of Japanese.
Doing matchas,
Do you know how matcha is even grown?
No.
It's bonkers. Like the art form, the artisan level of making matcha. So they plant this. It's green tea leaves, and they are grown under black tea is like fermented, and green tea is not, and it's just kind of the way in which it's grown. And they cover it with like these special sheets. They would have used they use black plastic nowadays, but they used to use different forms of like ways to cover the plant, and then they pick it only when it's at its prime and its prime vitality. It's really, really like this process. The process is really fascinating, and it is one that requires patience and time and attention. It's not something that you can do super fast.
So that's not coming to Essex.
Matcha. No,
growing.
But it's just like one of those things where you're just kind of like, this is a takeover of a culture. And the whole so the whole culture of that plant and that lifestyle was just all of a sudden being served in one of 28 Costas across Chelmsford. And you're like, and they're doing it in the machine. There's like matcha planes. Oh, what's your name? I'll write it on there. And then you're just like, my name's Aziz or something. They'll be like, what? Did you say Alan? And it's like, so I think it's really...
Laura Allen.
I don't know. It's just thinking about, the culture of these plants and actually how long it takes to build a relationship with it and the whole history around it.
And I suppose, agriculturally, it's hard to scale that up that quickly. So are some people being priced out of matcha now because we're obsessed with matcha?
Hell yeah. Same with cacao. And I think it's really interesting. But what for me is so important in my work and what I want to continue for the future is like, how long does it take to build a culture around agriculture, right? Like this, a long time. You know, here we're talking about apples. This is apple land, you know?
Yeah.
There's going to be no apples left. And all of a sudden, people of England are going to start talking about wine. They don't know anything about wine. I'm not being rude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, can I have a Merlot? But at the end of the day, you know, if you go to France, you're like, can I have a Beaujolais? They'll be like, sorry, we don't do Beaujolais, actually. We have this and this. And it's like this whole, all of a sudden, we're trying to learn a new culture really, really, really fast because it's fashionable and it's being like marketed. And for me, that's super interesting. So a part of my work is like looking at how we can make these cultures accessible, but also looking at what's already here and how to kind of relate to it in the interplay. And then also we're talking about saffron, and all of a sudden it's relevant for my people, it's relevant for us, it's relevant for people that understand what saffron is and the culture is. How do you use one thread of saffron in your food to turn your rice yellow? Do you know?
That's right.
And amazing. You know, and it's kind of those kind of things, and that is an art that is taught intergenerationally. It's something that's passed down. It's something that's learned in relationship to the land. It's something that gives a pigment. It's something that is cherished and has a place within a context and a history in a culture of a land. And all of a sudden, you know, we've got a new culture to learn about, a new culture to sell. And then that's when it becomes really complicated, when all of a sudden people need to learn about wine really, really, really quickly because they need to be vineyard specialists. And, you know, how can we learn about grapes? This is what's going through my mind, and I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to like figure out within the speed of it, how is the average apple farmer all of a sudden going to learn about grapes and become a connoisseur of that plant in the same time that it's taken to like 30 generations of one family to teach that, and then the culture, the songs, the folklore, the music, everything that comes with that.
Yeah, this is really interesting because I was working with apple growers when I was working on a cider brand, and the guy that owned the orchard said, you know, brewers get to make a beer every week if they want, right? Apple growers, you're probably only going to get 30 or 35 harvests in your whole career.
Wow.
Right? Because, you got to wait for the apples to grow.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a bit of trial and error, and you can't learn that fast because you got to wait a year, see what happens, learn from it, you know, and do it all again next year, prune.
Yeah.
You know, And he said, well, you know, it's quite a relaxed way of life, really, because you can't hurry anything.
That's a good point.
You can't learn it that quickly, and I suppose it'd be the same with grapes.
Yeah, or you know, or matcha if we're going to go that far. But
Are we growing matcha in Essex? Essex matcha. Come on.
I don't know. Is that level of like, you know, what are we going to do when we have to reconfigure? And you know that exchange of knowledge is really important. But for me, so creativity, right? Culture, art. If we had to think about, you know, all of those pictures or in the gallery that you were talking about. Or
National Gallery.
The National Gallery.
Yeah. All the bangers.
All the bangers. They weren't there sitting, you know, pouring wine pictures, were they? No, they were drinking ale or they were drinking all sorts of things. And we've always had that exchange of plants.
Imagine he was eating an apple because he was stuck and he was like,
oh God, I've got to go forage an apple, you know, got to go eat a hawthorn or eat a hawberry.
Oi, Wayne, chuck us a crab apple.
Hey, Wayne. Give us an apple. Yeah, and now it's like, oi, Wayne, give me a grape. You know, it's it doesn't hit the same. I don't know. So for that exchange of culture is what's interesting to me, and how the overlays of, you know, new folk music, new folk art, you know, not in a way that I try and like maybe spell folk with a Q. Just it's that queerness around folk, like in all the senses, in terms of like that new generation of what it means to be from a land and be constantly in dialogue with it whilst it's changing, whilst we're changing as a people, whilst we're creating a new generation of people. Like my son is like 4 nationalities and he's growing up foraging from one land that's changing. And I think that's just where I'm heading, and where my questioning is heading, where my art is going, is thinking about that same layering of the land.
Yeah. Well, your son's going to be more confused because he'd be like, am I Essex or Suffolk?
Tractor boy.
Yeah. I'm not a tractor boy or a gazer.
That's a good one.
I'm my lemon squeezer. Yeah.
Literally.
But how does the Saffron Trail, how does your art overlay with that? You know, you've got a big project next year.
Yeah. It's looking at 3 different water sites primarily along that Saffron Trail, along that 70 miles.
So a river crosses it quite a lot, goes through Chelmsford.
Yeah, there's quite a few rivers, but it's also like there's chalk streams, there's springs, there's an estuary, there's ponds, there's all these different kind of water sites. And at the moment, just starting to delve into what those sites are, what they look like, what they mean, and who inhabits them, who like human and non-human, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then the idea is then to get commissions for artists to respond to those sites, but also to make improvements and enhancements to those areas. So that could be a bat box, it could be a bench, it could be a theatre performance, you know. So
and your ultimate goal of that as well is partly extra accessibility for groups that don't often go into the countryside, and for people to visit these areas that they wouldn't normally go to.
Always, and that's why it's on a public footpath. I don't have to make some special route. It's a route that already exists. It's already there. Parts of it are really urban. Parts of it are accessible for that reason. Parts of it are super rural and you can't get there. But if it's marketed enough, maybe you might go and try it out. But for me, I want it to be like this route that people can walk across. Like, you know, you might do the Camino de Santiago.
Yes,
Let's go do the Saffron Trail, you know, and creating a place where it's like, you know.
I love it when you have a walk with a purpose. And actually, like, my wife's a landscape architect, and she's always saying, it's really nice when, you know, in Holland especially, you know, you get loads of little play spaces. You don't get one big playground, you get loads of little play spaces along a trail or something. And, you know, it just makes you want to keep going, keep exploring more,
next?
keep looking. And, you know, and it's good because, you know, as an adult, you're like, I can get the kids to walk a little bit further and stuff like that. But it's that discovery and that joy of, you know, like finding things and going on a little mission.
Exactly. And you might get little stamps along the way, ideally, like you get those pilgrim passports, but you could get like Saffron Trail booklet, and it might be that you've got in a taxi, using a taxi in Chelmsford that's run by Mohammed, and, you know, it was Mohammed's taxis, I don't know, and you'll get a stamp for using that. Or you might be going to a restaurant somewhere and get a stamp for visiting the restaurant, or you might end up at Saffron Hall, which is a state-of-the-art a music venue, and go and listen to some amazing music and get a stamp. So it's that kind of like, or visit a theatre show, and that whole thing is connecting the route, or, you know, staying in a hotel run by a local family, you know, and or visiting a pub or going to the cricketers along the route, and all of that.
One of my favourite things that I do in Essex, it starts in Suffolk, but I did the Sudbury to Sea kayaking, right, where you start in Sudbury and you kayak all the way down to Manningtree.
So cool.
And it's so amazing, like when you go through all the different landscapes, and there's little pubs along the way and stuff, and it's so fun, like stopping everywhere, and then the farmers market in Bewers and stuff like that. But it's so nice to do something that's a long route through the landscape, and and seeing it change.
And change you at the same time.
Yeah.
And also having such a good laugh with your mates when you're doing it as well. But it's so nice to have just a destination in mind and just see what happens along the way.
Yeah.
And we saw so much amazing wildlife as well. It's brilliant.
Slow travelling. We don't do that enough. You know, we go away, we go to all different sorts of countries, and we do all these kind of things. But when was the last time you actually spent that long migrating from place A to place B? It's quite hard to do.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to do because we're not used to doing that anymore. And actually, that's the only way. We used to have to walk really far. We used to have to, you know, it's in our DNA.
Yeah. Where am I going to charge my phone?
There are any charging sites in the way.
Yeah, that's what you've got to map the Saffron Trail, map the 5G.
Love that. But also, it's how about charging ourselves and refueling ourselves and taking a moment to kind of rewire a little bit our own self before we can even. I don't think we could be creative in any other way. Really, it's
Oh, I love that.
You were making ink. Were you making it from pitch, or was it? What were you making? You were making inks from the land and then using them for calligraphy, which I think is amazing. Like going back to these old school techniques.
Yeah.
How did you make your ink?
Oat gall ink is a really easy one that I use. So the practice for me is connecting. So the whole process really is understanding what's the medicinal properties of an oak, where is it situated, what inhabits it, and how can then I also understand how to process and make pigment matter or paper or whatever it is from it. So with ink, with the oak galls, they are full of tannins, and then if you mix them with iron oxide, then it turns pitch black. So
Wow.
oak gall ink is the same ink that they use to write the Bible with.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And you using that for calligraphy?
Yeah. So
You should write your own Essex Bible. The Essex 10 Commandments of the landscape.
Love that. Manifesto for Essex. I think there's already one. Mine would look very different. But and then that practice is kind of embedded in all sorts. So you're thinking about saffron as the colour that they used to dye the saffron. Sorry, going back to saffron, but they were dyeing the wool and the wool that was being collected from around these parts, and then they would dye it and send it to Ireland to be woven and all sorts
Really?
of things.
So they dye yellow with saffron?
Yeah.
So
you dye
everyone
clothes.
was like, it's like nice yellow sweater.
Yeah.
Yes, Essex wool, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And
From saffron.
Saffron, yes, it's not pure saffron, this is.
Buddhist monks will dye their cloaks orange, with saffron. It's that kind. But also then you're embodying the medicinal properties of the plant when you're wearing it. It's funny, we're all wearing synthetic colours, and it's also thinking about, how once upon a time we'd all be super clean and have naturally dyed clothes, naturally dyed things. And
I love like the history of colours. Like in Roman times, apparently purple was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It was so expensive. And if you saw someone in purple, you would just be like, oh my God. So it's only like the really richest people would have purple.
Yeah.
Purple togas.
the
and everyone would be
process.
like, oh my God, because they weren't even used to seeing the colour purple.
Colour,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Imagine that when you have never seen a colour
Yeah.
because it's not in your landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then suddenly someone's coming along, it's like virtual reality, 3D, everything all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a different world, isn't it? It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what I learnt today.
Yeah, go on. Oh, are you wrapping up?
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you what I learnt though, because it's bugging me. That's why I have to say it. I didn't realise Saffron Walden was somewhere that was named that because of saffron.
I didn't
Exactly.
either.
But I'm really shocked.
Yeah.
Because I just thought saffron was from our countries, like back home countries. I didn't think they made that here.
Yeah.
I can't believe they could grow saffron in Essex either.
Yeah. Sorry.
Essex is exotic.
Telling you.
And it was apparently the best, or, everyone has that accolade, right, about their own produce, but it was valued very highly. Yeah, if you wanted to find some more things out about the colours, I'm currently exhibiting at the Welcome Collection in London.
Oh, I love that place. Really?
Yes.
What's going on there?
Thirst in Search of Fresh Water. So it's a massive exhibition with, I don't know how many artists and researchers and artefacts are there. And it's on until 1st of February 2025.
Oh, wow. And this is opposite
2026.
Yeah.
2026.
2026, sorry. Yeah.
And this is opposite Euston Square Station.
Yes.
I love it. There's a hidden Picasso there. Over the door.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go in and you turn around and there's a really, really cool Picasso there. OG.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's one of like London's hidden treasures.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do people find you, Laura?
Instagram is probably a really good place.
Can we have your Insta?
At Lora, Lora. Aziz, AZIZ _.
There you go.
And what about Weird Flora? Is that are you focusing more on the Laura Aziz?
Yeah, Weird Flora has melted into the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one go and follow Weird Flora then.
No, because it doesn't exist anymore on Instagram. It's Laura Aziz. I know. It's just because it.
Laura Aziz _.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go. I love it.
That's wicked. Now I need to do more foraging and I need to do more country walks. I had a foraging book, right? And from what I could understand in England, it was like brilliant. April, May, June, winter. Just eat some hawthorn. Just eat some hawthorn for like 6 months, and then you're back to like all the other stuff. So I need to go more foraging and explore more things to do.
There's all
You need
sorts.
to do the saffron trail.
I do need to do saffron trail, but also I love doing a bit of environmental art as well. I think my kids were learning about like Andy Gold's. Is it Andy Goldsworthy? He does all the leaf art and stuff like that. I love all that temporary landscape art and things, and just having fun and exploring. I like damming little streams. That's so fun.
What, with sticks?
With sticks, yeah, it's such a great activity. Me and my kids could do it for hours, and my wife's like, "Oh, guys, can we just go home now?" And we're like, "No, we're big beavers."
Cute.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so get outdoors, everyone. Get your hands muddy.
Definitely.
Get some blue clay on you.
Get some mud on your stilettos.
Yeah, exactly. Aerate those lawns. All right. Like, if anyone wants to learn about, the land and ethnobotany and things like that, where's a good place to start?
In your own back garden. If you don't have a back garden, then just go outside, look up. Is the moon out? Is the sun out? Have a little look. Start acquainting yourself with that. But if you don't have a back garden, then look outside your front door. You might find a little plant in between the cracks. And if you walk past that plant every single day, try and find out what it is, what it's called.
Where can you go and find out what it's called?
So my favourite way would be to observe it. So to journal it in your own time. So look at that plant. You walk past it one day. You don't need to know what it is straight away. Yesterday you weren't that bothered.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you might go out and or the next season you might see that it's putting up a flower. Have a look at the flower. What does it look like? And then you might be like, oh, that's a dandelion actually, because I know what that is. It's got a big yellow thing. But whereas before you didn't know because it was just the leaves, right? So just observation is your first point of call. And if you can't wait, then you can always, take a picture. You could always ask someone who's standing next to you. They might know. You'd be surprised. They might know. You could take a picture and then you can upload it to certain different groups. There's lots of Facebook groups for plant identification in Essex.
Google Lens is good. Sometimes.
Someone said that to me.
I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
Because there's no interaction whatsoever. It's giving you one answer.
Oh, yeah. And
it's
you don't
instant.
know what's right or not.
And you have so the Facebook group is really interesting because they can give you a variety of that species.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So plants could be like, you could have so many different types of hawthorn, but your app might tell you that one and you might never learn about the other varieties. So the conversation around it is so important. Ask people because in the age of AI, the age of the internet, where we're so used to hearing one answer, that's not good enough. We need to think about.
And then you might find out these amazing like Billy Wicks, Molly dishwasher names for things.
Yeah, exactly. And someone might say, "Oh, that's nosebleed," and you're like, "What?" And the other person's like, "No, that's yarrow." And that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
And then you're like, otherwise you have to think of it in its Latin name. And the Latin name is only one way to understand that plant. You might have walked past that plant all the time and called it Annoying Joe, for example, because it got seeds on you.
Sticky Willy.
Sticky Willy is another one. Yeah. And I invite you to start naming your environment. Name the plants what are around you, however you like to name them. How do they make you feel when you walk past them? How does it make you smell? What do you smell? And maybe you name it after that. And start feeling your way through it, because that's the only way that we're ever going to get anywhere, is by not having somebody tell you what it is. Yeah. You have to be willing to show up to that party and ask some questions and feel your way through, because otherwise, somebody can tell you a name and you'll forget, and that'll be the end of that. It's not enough just to know a name. It's beyond that, I think. So, and then that's when you can start playing around with colours and starting wanting to eat it and start wanting to create a whole trail out of something. You don't know where it's going to take you. So,
love it.
Be curious.
Yeah, be curious, everyone. Yeah, look up from your phone.
Look up Sticky Willy.
Do not Google Sticky Willy. Throw it on someone's back.
Cleaver.
Love it.
Sagator, this is good. I mean, I go out for a walk every weekend. Do you get out of the city much?
Do I get out of this city?
Yeah, do you go out for walks and stuff?
Not much. I do when I've got my grandbaby.
You should go and get your stilettos muddy.
Yeah.
Have you been on a rope swing recently?
No.
It's so fun. Go out just go out to some woods.
Mash up my back. Yeah, why not?
Go
Even worse than it already is. Let's do it.
Go and beaver a stream up.
Well, I loved what Lora just said about find a plant and name it.
Yeah.
Now, my neighbour's plant comes into my garden. So do you know what? I'm going to call it annoying.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to go question him now and go, you're an annoying plant.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Because actually I didn't think of it about looking at plants, naming plants. I've learned so much from you today. Things that I would just never have thought of.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really exciting. And to think about like the whole environment as one huge big piece of art really in culture It's so interesting.
Amazing,
Not just little individual things, and it's changing every second, every millisecond.
Every second.
Full moon. Oh! All right, thank you for listening to iCreative. Follow us at r.ucreative.podcast. Something like that. Just look it up. Thank you, Nick. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's good. I'm going to do loads of stuff for charity next week. Thank you, Sangeeta.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I do a lot of good work for charity. Don't like to talk about it. Thanks, Adam Whitaker from Locker Media. Get out of my studio. I've got an early start. And thank you very much, Laura.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
okay.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So, joint best guest ever with Marley. Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, what can we say on the way out? I don't know. I'm going to just have it's full moon.
Everybody that's listening, let's hit Saffron Water.